Good morning, everyone. We're going to tackle about message. Okay, what is message? So message is in rhetorical and communication studies. And message is defined as information conveyed by words or in speech or writing and other signs and symbols. Message is the content of the communication process. So message is we use to communicate people around us, people are far from us. For example, we use Messenger, Yahoo, Gmail, and other form of email that we can communicate people who far from us using message, or we can go in text or other form of message. Okay. This is the kind of messages. The message and rhetoric. Message and rhetoric is rhetorical is an effort of the speaker make to persuade other of the her point of view in performing a rhetorical act. A speaker make or author create a message whose shape and form are melded in an effort to persuade the audience. So this message is rhetorical is kind of you will be convinced the audience. You will convince or persuade. Hihikayat mo ang iyong manonood na halimbawa. For example, you have a product and you need to convince it by messages or that kind of magic word. Okay. Next is message in media. Message in media is successful politician and others have been able to put forward message to persuade a vast audience as to their point of view. So message in media, this is the how politicians use. So to convince people by message to vote for them or like they have messages to what is going to do. Okay, next, the purpose of message. The purpose of message have three. Purpose of message to educate and inform, to entertain and to persuade. Okay, let's go to educate or inform. To educate or inform, the news industry was built on society interest in learning and keeping up with what's happening in the world. We read newspaper stories, magazine feature and news blog, listen to the radio broadcast and podcast, and watch and listen television newscasts and documentaries and online video tutorial. So messages is used as to inform us what's happening in the world by watching television or news. That is the purpose of message to inform us. Okay. Next is to entertain. To entertain. Some media are packaged to entertain music, movies, television, sitcoms, sports, broadcasts, and entertain. To popular entertainment, media are especially appealing to advertisers because they are viewed by the large audience. So to entertain, if you watch television, there have many advertisement there. So messages is advertisement. The purpose of message is can be advertised. For example, Samsung they use an artist to have message about Samsung, how they use and how effective it is. And next is to persuade. To persuade, if you learn that this chapter, a key concept, media literacy is knowing all media message, share some point of view, even the ones that are meant to appear objective in tone. While persuasive device is more subtitle other media messages. For example, a post on a political blog influence you to think one way by conveying only one side story. So persuade. For example, to persuade. So if you have a product, you have to persuade or convince the people to buy on it by the word on the images or to convince it by the words or message on the product. So what is that is persuade. So next, who is the target audience of the message. So the target audience of the message is the listener. They have a 4 target. So your message will, ito ang mensahe mo ay magbabase kung sino ang yung mga tagapanood or mga audience. So nagbabase ang yung mensahe kung sino ang nanonood sa iyo. Okay. First, listener's educational level. Knowing the listener level of comprehension through their educational attainment will be crucial aspect of the entire speech. Simply knowing your receiver's educational level will you get enough general hint as to what they are interested in things that they care about most value and who there. So, listener educational level. So, a listener educational level is your audience is when, for example, I will cite example. So, for example, your audience is not don't have an educational background like hindi nakatapos ng pag-aaral ng ganyan. So, dapat ang yung pagsasalita, ang yung imimensahe ay hindi yung English or something na words yung mahirap kasi yung audience mo is hindi nakapag-aral or ano. Kasi ibabagay mo kasi yung mensahe mo kung sino yung audience mo. For example, you're going to speak English that if that people that listen to you is not hindi maintindihan ang lingwahe na iyong ibinikit, it's you useless. So, you need to bagay the message to the people who listening to you. Okay? So, number 2, listener's age. This is one aspect that you ought to know before planning the content of your message. Media content. The age of your audience will determine the appropriate word and terms you will use in your content, how the message of the media content will be received and welcomed by your side and welcome by your listeners will always be influenced by their own flow. Your message is binabagay mo ang mensahe sa kanilang mga edad. For example, your audience is senior citizen and you use words about millennial words. So, how they can understand you if you use millennial words and your audience is senior citizen? So, kailangan mong ibagay ang mensahe mo kung sino ang audience mo. Like, kung senior citizen yung audience mo, kailangan mong magsasalita, yung message mo ay para talaga sa kanila. At hindi yung like millennial words like, for example, akit, chika, like that. So, you need to bagay your message to your audience who are listening to you to understand what you are saying. So, number 3, listener's gender. So, listener's gender, it is expected that offending the audience shall be avoided at all time. Thus, you should always be mindful of the people who are listening to or seeing media content. By observing the type of audience you have will give the type of audience will give you a great advantage, especially if your media content is intended to persuade the audience. By being gender sensitive in your discourse will give you great advantage and winning sympathy and trust of your audience. So, if you have an audience, like for example, you have an audience about LGBT, you have an audience have LGBT and normal people, so we cannot use message against them because your audience is mga bakla or tomboy like that, so You can't message about against them because your message is accurate to their gender. Okay, the last is listener's profession. Listener's profession is the line of work of your audience will do affect, know, interpret, and accept the message of your media content. It is expected that you will have a diverse audience, but you should find a way to collectively address them in a way that they will understand and message the way you wanted it and understood. So, listener profession. Okay, for example, about law. Your audience is studying law. So, your message is about law, nothing else. So, if your message is about like opera, yung mga so, hindi na babagay sa kanila yung message. So, dapat ibabagay mo talaga ang mensahe mo kung sino ang audience mo, kung sino ang nanonood sa inyo. And that's all. Thank you.